Hello and welcome to the Flo Models Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 1st of March 2024. Another really good week this week. Pushed on a lot. Had lots of big orders going out to distributors and stockists and things like that of the washes. So that took up a little bit of time beginning of the week. But the rest of it has been really pushing on, especially on the B25, which we'll talk about in a moment. So yes, really a good week on this one. Managed to finish off the actual Tiger Moth completely. And so pretty much finished it last week, but there's just a few little things I added to this one, and that has got the final video part with you, is up with you right now. So a good old week. Anyway, all started on Monday, where we had the next part of the B25 is up with you. We were really going through the weathering stage on this one. So obviously we talked about the decals. We had a fight with them. They're not brilliant, the Ask ones. And yeah, I just struggled all the way through. We managed to get them in now, but it did take a long fight and a lot of setting solutions to get this all in, but it is in there now. Anyway, with them in, we managed to seal them down, went in there with a coat of third gem matte finish, and that gives us a nice satin finish. And then we came into the washes. Now there is going to be a separate video of this coming up maybe over the weekend, if not, it'll be up with you next week, about using the weathering wash to actually show you how we weathered up the B25. But basically there's a few stills from it. So usual thing, weathering wash on, brush on, let it completely dry and rub off. All right, so it goes into the panel lines and gives you that nice look all the way through. As you can see, came to life and did exactly what it says on the tin. It just works very well to give a lightly grimy type finish over a satin finish. If you wanted to have more of just a panel lines and just in the recesses of the details and things like that, then obviously I highly recommend going over a gloss coat. And if you want a really gnarly weathered look, go over a matte finish. All right, and you'll have it sort of gets caught in the texture. But anyway, with all of that off, you can see different areas of griminess. We left it a little bit more grimy underneath, obviously, and then got all the wash off of it. All right, so that basically completes that part. So that is your part 9 of the actual B25 up there. Part 10 will be up with you on Monday, and as you can see, it's looking totally different to how you see it there. So here she is looking right now. Very gnarly. So again, with the wash on, which went on, to be honest, flawlessly, no problem at all. We've now come in and obviously we've gone through the motions of oils, and as you can see, got a ton of oils which we'll be learning all about next week. So to give us this really nice worn down, heavily weathered, you know, this one's out in the sort of Far East, so that's why we've done it this way, look to it. And again, looking very nice. There's still a few little bits to do on this one. I hope to have it finished this week, but literally it's just the finishing touches. So we've got to do the lights, we've got to do the navigation lights, we've got to get the barrels installed to it, we've got to arm it, get the bomb load in, obviously unmasking it, and some final little tiny touches to really bring it to life. But I have to say, it's worked very well, and I'm happy about the decals because they did go down exceptionally well when we managed to get them to go down. All right, so that's that one, which is coming along very nicely. But again, you'll find out all about that one next week. All right, so good job on that one. But anyway, part 9 members, you can go off and you can see that one now. It is chaptered as well. So now when you click on it to watch it, we have chapters, so you can literally skip forward to the areas that you need. Don't forget, all the high-res photos are available on the build as well. So you can go off and have a look at the entire build over on the site with all the other ones. Tuesday it was me and Matt, and we were looking back at Hassa really. It's a real shame that they're not sort of kicking out kits like they used to. I know they're doing a lot for their home market these days, but definitely they had some classic kits, and they were light years ahead of a lot of manufacturers, especially in Europe. During the 80s and 90s into the 2000s, and I think they sort of lost their way really sort of mid 2000 and into 2010. They seem to sort of, you know, just do well, let's face it, reboxing, redecaling things, but nothing really new coming out, which was a shame because they were literally leading and cutting edge. Anyway, me and Matt go through on this particular show talking about that. Obviously Matt's showing off his car. As you can see, this is going to be part of the one we're talking about at the moment, the Tiger Moth. So we've got a build coming up on this one. So Matt's got one coming up for you on here, and figure painting and things like that onto that one. But the car's looking very nice, as you can see down in there. And obviously talking about other projects he's on at the moment. So he's doing the he did a little vignette over the weekend, something I think in really Italy, looks like to me. Looking very nice down in there with that one. And then obviously talking about the various things. I was talking about the Tiger Moth, which was completed and ready to go, and we'll be using those together. And then obviously I was talking about the weathering onto the actual the V25, plus the fact we were then harping back to the good old era of this little lump. Remember that one? It's got the motor and the sounds and the light board in it and all the rest of it. So yes, I've got it out to see if it works, and it still works. 6 years on, it's still working. All right, the models had a bit of a bash, which you talk about in there, but generally I'm amazed it still works. So that one's down in there. Anyway, you can go off and talk about this one and have a look at it. We talk about all the kits that we used, some of our favourites and everything else like that. Some of my classic ones that I've built over the years, all the Hassa kits. There's the Sabre as well, and some of the other ones. And I even went back and found out my old Corsair from back in the day. And again, we're answering your questions. There we go. We're talking about my secret stash under my bench, including this little lump from back in the day. And I built that over 20 years ago. And so yes, there's the Corsair as well. So lots and lots of kits that we were talking about and discussing and all things like that. So answering your questions, everything else on that show. It is a free to watch show. Anyone can go off and see that one, and it is available to watch right now. Then obviously on that's Tuesday actually. That's Wednesday. Should say Wednesday on there. I've got the wrong date on that one. But that's actually a Wednesday. Obviously the vlog. It's a little 10-minute vlog talking about what I'm up to that particular day. We were talking about oils and weathering and stuff like there and chipping and all those things on that particular show for the members. And again, last night it was members night. So obviously members night, we were discussing all the latest things going on, what the guys are all up to and everything else like that. So Andy's been working on the little flycatcher, which is probably driving him mad round about now. John's working on the Mammoth A20, the Havoc HK kit, which is absolutely stunning. And Nathan had a proper good old rant about why you shouldn't buy this kit or use it anything, because the plastic's awful, the PE is non-existent, the resin, there's no point, the decals are awful, and to be honest, the mask set is the worst thing ever invented. If you want to hear all about that rant, you can go off and see that one right now, of reasons never to build that particular kit. And then obviously Matt was talking about his figures and showing off like that, and I was showing the pictures on there and some of the ideas and things he's coming up with at the moment, and we were talking about vignette bases and how to use them, and then generally we work on our way through your great work. For the recent group builds and things like and SIGs that are going on. Got another gorgeous Havoc down in there. We've got that fantastic D-Day Dakota or C-47 Skytrain, depending where you are in the world. Some of the other vehicles that we were talking about and some of the other planes, and yeah, some really, really nice stuff. And again, the torpedo boat. But it turns out the torpedoes literally came out the back, and then as they wound up or revved up, the boat had to get out of the way. So it dropped him out the back, and then he had to pull off to port or starboard to get out of the way of the torpedo. Again, interesting concept. But there we go. But anyway, usual thing. And then we went off to answer all your questions. We were talking all things airbrush. We were talking about the bargain airbrushes that are out there and where to get them. And all your other questions that we were answering throughout the show. So still lots and lots of details down in there. So members, you can catch up with that one. And obviously we're answering your questions about some really old dodgy kits. And what the hell is on that, we're not too sure. And stuff like that. So anyway, members, you can catch up with that show every other Thursday night, and obviously you guys were with us in the live chat room as well with that. And that gets us bang up to today, where we've actually got the final part of the ICM TIG Moth. Beautiful kit. I know I've been saying it for weeks, but again, the decals performed beautifully. They went down really nice. We had to get them to conform around the rudder to get those all to fit in there. As you see, you had a little lip, but again, microsole and some gentle tapping. You can get it to go in there. You get a little bit of nudging, as I call it, and the decals performed flawlessly. Very, very nice, and just worked absolutely fantastic on that rudder. As you can see, by tapping them around, we get the bands of colour going right over, and it just works beautifully. Anyway, that completes the build. Oh yeah, sorry, we did the prop, woodwork on the prop. So if you want to know about that one, I've got that one. Simple two-step process I use. Deck tan, acrylic Tamiya paint, let that dry, and then a little bit of brown oil paint over the top for your wood effect, and then I gloss it. Just like that. And it's one of those things, doing wood effects, it looks and sounds really complicated. It's the easiest thing ever. It literally is that easy. Then final little bit of weathering onto the TIG Moth, so a little bit of oils, just subtle, want it to be nice and clean, and that completed off our build on that one. And again, I've got further full photos down underneath, you can have a look, which show it all off in all its glory. Again, it hasn't been weathered up totally yet because we're going to do a diorama base for this, and obviously it needs to be weathered to obviously its environment, so that'll get a little bit more weathering when we get a little bit closer to the time. But keep an eye out for that one. It'll probably be a free to watch video when we do the diorama base. So me and Matt are going to get together for a week, and we can spend a few days definitely doing a little bit of a diorama like we did the last one that you saw as a special over Christmas. We promise it won't take that long to come out like last time. It took us 6 months to produce that, but there we go. So anyway, really enjoyed that. A real nice simple kit, goes together beautifully, and what's not to love? It's an ICM kit at the end of the day, so that was very nice Indeed. And here she is, all set and finished. Sorry, there we go, wrong one. Let me just move this one slightly out of the way. And it is done and here. And again, it's not too small, it's not small and fiddly. That's what I struggle when I've done biplanes in the past. I would never go near a 72nd one, although I have done one. And I've even done a 144, mad. But anyway, I like 32nd scale for this type of thing. But what I love about the ICM kits is that they're just so straightforward. I've built Wingnut Wings kits before. They're a lot of fun. They're very, very detailed. And they're very time consuming. This one is only a 5-part video because it didn't take that long to come together. And of course, if you wanted to, you could do a more fancy paint scheme with this. Maybe the camouflage with the yellow, it looks really nice. But because we're doing this one for the actual group build, for the Interbellum group build, we wanted it to be a little bit more sort of, you know, of that period. So we've just gone with the dope linen effect right the way over it. And to be honest, I think it's turned out really well. And it goes really nicely with my Gladiator that I've got over there as well. I've done the Stearman before, which I did for a friend of mine. And that was a great kit. So I can highly, highly recommend them. They are fantastic. But anyway, don't forget, you can pop over if you want to. Literally, just go over to... if I just pop to the top with all the video builds. If you're not a member, you can still see them, don't forget. So literally just go over to video builds, click in here. You can see all the video builds that we're doing currently at the moment. So obviously is this completed one down in here. And it's got all the photos and they're all in high res as well. So if you want to have a proper look at them, you can see all the high res images right the way through. All right. And again, showing you all the details. And obviously I talk about it down here in the notes as well into this one. And obviously you can get all the photos in glorious high res as well. So if you do want to pop in, you can see them just like that. So if you want some better pictures and images, you can see them. And of course, obviously all the video builds I've done over the last 20 odd years are down in here. So I think we've got around about 100 odd down in here, which are full video builds down in here. And then obviously we've got some other ones as well, which are going to be, if I just go straight to the top, over here, just click on the actual classics. So classic video builds just here, and these are the other ones which are free to watch. So all these are free to watch. They don't come with additional information, that, because it literally is just the videos, but I think there's another sort of 60 in there as well. So if you want to see any of those ones, you can go off and see those as well. So again, these ones tend to be sort of over 10 years old, are down in here. But as time goes on, I will be moving some of the current video builds because they're getting a little bit old now, and this area is really filling up with some of these other ones down in here will make their way over to be free ones. And again, if you want to see about diorama base, we've got that one for you as well. A little bit of armor and a bit of sci-fi. So some good stuff down in there. Over on the Flo Models store, we've got full stocks of everything. We were out of pigments this week and we've been very low on a couple of items. We are now fully stocked back up. So if you want to get anything from there, don't forget you can get the merch as well. So the merch is all in stock. And keep an eye out tomorrow because we've got a special show up with you tomorrow. And we're going to be doing a bit of a special on the merch range, including the mugs. So if you fancy a mug and things like that, I would wait till tomorrow. So yes, there's a little bit of a clue for you to hold off your orders until tomorrow because we're going to have a little bit of a sale on. Don't forget though, we've now got Flo Models Europe store is open. So if you click down in here, at the moment it's part of Braveco, but obviously it will be moving to its own site soon. And you can place all your orders direct and they'll be shipped from obviously inside Europe to you. So no more having to wait for delivery times, getting caught in customs, getting handling charges, and obviously custom fees and all things like that. You can just go along and get them down in there. So if you want any of the details down in here, it's also in different languages as well. So if you are in Europe, you can see that we are rolling out and Karina's doing all the translation work for us as we speak. All right, so we've got some nice stuff over there. Plus the fact, if you do want to get anything as well, obviously Braveco, you've got all your display stuff and all things like that. So if you ever need your cutters, your nips and all things, you can just pop along to the store. And again, you've got display and you can literally just go hand tools or something else like that. There you go. All the tools I tend to use, you can see just down in there. So plenty of stuff to get your teeth into. So just clock over. You can either go to bravecomodeling.nl or you can go to florymodels.eu and you can go straight to there as always. Over onto the actual PM store, they've obviously got 20% off model kits at the moment on various things. And they've got a special which is going to be up with you tomorrow as well in the sale. We've got the last of the Hassa. This is literally all we got left of the kits we were talking about the other day. So if you do want some of the fantastic ones, including that gorgeous P40, when these are gone, they are going to be gone. We don't know when we can get any more in. So again, we've got some real nice ones down in here, and if you fancy a Corsair, that is definitely still the best in scale, even though it's not the newest. And I've got it coming in, Matt's sending it to me this week, or be here next week now, and obviously that's going to be a review as well coming up soon. So again, some fantastic ones down in here, so grab them literally whilst you can. Include the longbow, really nice one still, even though they're slightly older than sort of kits that have superseded it, still the best. So you can see all of those. Plus the fact PM has had massive deliveries this week of obviously paints, consumables, tools, thinners, glues, all the rest of it. They've all come in as well right the way through. So if you see anything, pop down in here. You can click on it and have a good look through their entire range. But again, with us tomorrow, because we've got a special show with you Saturday, then obviously there's going to be a sale up for that as well. So you might want to hang around and just see what's going to appear up with you tomorrow, because I say, be some nice stuff down in there, I should think. As I say, we have got a special show with you, so we are going to be back with you. Free to watch, live show. Obviously, the chat rooms will be open as well, so you can talk to us on YouTube, Flo Models chat room, all the rest of it. So we're going to be starting at 10 till midday. We're going to do some building. We'll be talking, answering your questions, generally having a bit of a giggle. So the Saturday morning show is back for you as well. So it'd be nice to have you to come along with that one. Okay, so that's about it for this week. Really good week. Nice to see the TIG Moth is all done and all ready, just for Matt to do me and Matt to get together, do the base on that one. That's good. The B25, I'll finish it off on Sunday, so I'm working on Sunday, so I'll get that one completely finished off, which means we've got a nice clear week next week to get on with the next big project, which is something big and sci-fi-y and 3D printed. So that one's going to be a lot of fun to be working on that one as well. So as always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until tomorrow, Saturday morning, we've got a bit of a special with you. Happy modelling. Take care.